Yo, it's me, Dom. How do you not fear God? I might sound crazy or whatever, and but how do you not fear God? So I'm just gonna give you just some points of just like why I believe so heavily, why I absolutely my faith can't be ever taken away from me. Why just me, my opinion. I'm not trying to force religion or nothing on nobody. We all have that free will to choose what we do believe in, to like why we're even here. Okay, so one big reason, so let me just give you a rundown of my story. Okay, basically just the past year I went through some hard, terrible grief, heartbreak, some really severe withdrawal symptoms, and up until this point it's been a whole year. I just kept feeling pain. I kept feeling nervous system action. I kept feeling super terrible hurt just in my head, just in my throat, just everywhere in my body. It was never about the person, it was always about me. And I just put it onto a person. This is what bad emotional attachments do to you and how they can stir up. And now I can understand why people like hate their exes, or people, just blame their past partners, but I don't have any resentment, man. I'm grateful for it, and I've transformed it to something completely different. And so what I would just like to say is, after just so much pain and grief and withdrawal and just terrible damage, it's broken me down, it's bended me into become someone completely new, someone completely different. And so now I'm feeling calmness, I'm feeling more peace, I'm feeling like a water, this sort of flow state just in my body. Just I'm also not in debt. That's also a good thing as well. But I'm feeling freaking just like, think of just like a river, just super calm, just going with the flow. And it is the most absolute peace, absolute calmness, absolute stillness of, I've never felt it so much in my life. I'm so used to freaking chasing. I'm so used to like running after something, survival, panic mode, like this sort of just this of just always just like moving, just kind of jittery, on edge, I guess. Basically that is what my nervous system and my child has brought me to think that's normal, whenever that's not normal. And so what I would like to say is, how do you not fear God? How do you not fear someone who is everywhere? How do you not fear someone or something that is outside of space and time, knows how many strands of hair is on your head, knows your story, knows like everything? How could I ever fear another man who can hurt me, who is also going to, who is also going to get clapped, like it's going to happen to him too. So what I would just say is, how do you not fear someone? How do people go ignore? How do people ignore the actual reality of, and have their ego? How did they just ignore that? Why did they just freaking, not submit, or at least acknowledge? How do people go their entire lives? I don't know. Everyone gets a wake-up call. I got my wake-up call super early on. There was nothing for me to run to. I couldn't run to nobody. I couldn't run to anything. It ended. The relationship ended. I couldn't run to friends to save me. I tried so much. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to spin to fill the void. I tried so hard to just do anything I could. But once I submitted, once I went and just let myself go, once I begged on my knees every single day, once I prayed, once I nothing was happening for the longest, and it was just like, what? Like, I'm not feeling better, but now all the prayers, now all the tears, now all the pain, everything is subsiding. And so now it's just, he's there. He's always been there. He's always seen the pain. He's always, like, there's just, he was always there. But he needed to actually see the bending of me. He needed to actually see the arrogance taken out of my hand. He needed to actually see the ego just completely get out of this little kid of me. I'm so detached from man, just from humans, just from the opinion of other people, validation seeking. I showed up to church literally the other day, and I might have been running late because I was just doing homework, and I just had to go. So I had to go. I didn't really have time to change. I went in a tank top and shorts. I literally had to look up, does God care what I wear to church? No, he don't care. He doesn't care about anything you have. He made everything. He doesn't care. He literally doesn't care. I showed up as long as my heart is in the right place, as long as I seek him, as long as I pray to him, want him in my life. Why is he going to care about anything on the outside, the extrinsic? I don't know if that's a word. Why is he going to care? What is anything that we have in this world matter to him? He made it all. He owns everything. So what's the point? That I'm just like, who cares? I am confident in my body and myself that, hey, maybe I do want people to check me out. But I'm also just like, I don't care. The opinion, so what I'm saying to you is, if other people's opinions affect you, you got to get to a point where it doesn't affect you anymore. And the only reason I was able to get to this point was through a lot of pain and suffering and just not caring. Like, the amount of pain that I felt and withdrawal I went through cannot be overcome, cannot be compared to other people's opinion. I could care less about what other people think of me. I do get like some anxious thoughts and thinking about, like, what if I post this or whatever, like, what are people gonna think? And then them thoughts go away, and then life goes on, and it's just that simple. So how do you not fear God? How do you not fear someone who just created everything and is always around, everywhere at once? And once I figured out how powerful his power is, because I feel like I downplayed his power. I feel like we low-key downplay his power. But there's a lot of scriptures that talk about how, like, his power, like knowing how many strands. He's the architect. He knew us before. He always knew everything when we were in the womb. Everything. Knowing how many strands on my hair, this man, this entity, this thing knows. Are you, like, you're serious? How do you not fear God? Not in the way you're terrified, not in the way that you hide from him, not in the way, just in the way, because I'm fearful, but I'm also, like, confident. There's a difference. How do you not fear something that has this much power, but also allows you to have free will to change or do whatever you want in your entire life? How do you not? It's just common sense to me, right? And it's just, I'm going through this crazy spiritual awakening at the end of my transformation. There's been so much other things besides this, and this is the last thing. Faith and finances. This is the end of my transformation journey. I went through all this grief and everything I've become to become a new person. And it's really, really, really crazy. And there's just so many verses, like this one Matthew verse, like, many are called, but few are chosen. He separated me from a lot of my old friend group. I'm 21. This is what happens in your 20s. If you're watching this in your 20s, this is what happens. He separated me from bad emotional attachment relationships. He isolated me from people who I thought I would be friends with, who I thought I would, just continue to know. No. He's already working in the background for me, opening doors, slamming doors shut. And I'm confident in that, in his word and in his way, that whatever has to happen, whatever happens, happens. Whatever the future holds, I'm not anxious about the future, because as I know, as my faith is super strong, as long as I know he has a plan for me, he knows, he sees my character, he understands, and then I can't be wrong. And I struggle with hearing his voice, or because people talk about they hear his voice, or they talk about, and I feel like maybe I struggle. Am I doing what he wants me to do? Am I living for him? The fact I'm even aware of this shows I am hearing enough of his voice. I am doing what's right, what he created me for, what he wanted me to do. I'm on the right direction. Don't be so anxious. Just keep it going. If something is bringing me peace, that I'm on the right direction. If something is bringing you peace, you're on the right direction. If I start going down the wrong path and it starts hitting my nervous system, my gut, my conscience, talking about like it's not the right thing, he's gonna direct me to go right into where I need to be, as long as I trust him. So how do you not fear God? And it's just one of those big bright awakenings, and I'm super aware of it because it's not so freaking prevalent, or it's so early, right? I'm gonna get to a point where I do go back to being like comfortable. This is just a normal human nature thing, just going back to being comfortable, just in a way, but I'm always gonna pray, like, be grateful for the littlest things, for the smallest things, for everything. And that's gonna keep me grounded. It's gonna keep me in that humility, because he didn't need to create me. I didn't need to become a human. I didn't need to become someone in the United States of America, one of the strongest, biggest countries in the entire world. I didn't need to go through the life I went through. Like, there's so much things that just what were the odds of that happening? Except he chose me, except he marked me, except he put this anointed oil and allowed me to get crushed and then just completely renewed and transformed. He will choose his certain people. It's really, really insane. And it's just, I don't know, pain and suffering is the only way people go through this point. And it's just, he will allow what needs to be done. And I don't know, I'm saying this because, man, I just woke up from a nap and I immediately just get this strong urge about this video. And maybe it doesn't hit that much people, or maybe it doesn't. I think that might be a reason, and now God's talking to me, because I just wake up and it's just, how do you not fear God? Make the video, make the content, or whatever. Even if nobody watches, for yourself, it don't matter. Someone's gonna watch it, someone's gonna see it, someone's gonna maybe get an awakening or whatever. I think that isn't that no, I'm not gonna cap. That's low key probably a way God is talking to me. Whenever you feel a strong urge, strong pull towards something that you can't ignore, probably. So that is my take. Probably gonna make some more stuff, and that is it. Y'all have a good one.